Hi, and welcome back to a new episode, and where I will be showing you how to create blurred text effect with After Effects. So at the end of this tutorial you should be hoping to create something that looks along the lines of this. So you see there the text kind of blurs in, and at the end it blurs out in a random order. There's a few other things I've done here for cinematic effect with the scaling and also the particles to create depth of field and the music in the background, but I'll give you some tips at the end of the video after we've created this text animation on how you can create that. So I'm going to keep this composition open and I'm just going to move it down towards the end. So what I'll do is I'll drag in my stock footage, move this work area bar down to here as well, same for this, and then I'll just clip up this footage to where I need it. It's about there. Just drag this back, there we go. Right, I'll zoom in here just so we're only focusing on this area. Okay, so you've brought your footage into your composition. To add some text, come up to the toolbar, click the text and then click on the screen, and you can type your whatever the title is. So I'm just going to put blurry text. Oops, for this one. There we go. You'll notice also that the anchor point might be off center. So to center that, if you hold Control and double click up here on the pan behind, it's now centered. What I'll also do is align the text in the vertical and the horizontal so it's in the center of our screen. Just going to also scroll it up a little bit more, just going to about 110, I think that'll do, and then just realign that again and make sure that's centered, which it is. Perfect. Okay, so you've got your text on the screen. Just going to go to the start, Control Shift D, which splits the layer, delete the first bit. I'm going to do the same at the end. I should do the same with both these layers, Control Shift D and split. There we go. Okay, so you got your text on the screen. Now to add the effect. With most effects you'd come up here in the effects and you type what the effect name is, but for this one it's text effects. We're going to select the layer, open up the drop down, come to animate, and we're going to animate a blur. Now nothing will have happened yet, so we'll add some blur to that. We're going to go 55 for this one. We're also going to add, if you come to add property, and we'll add the opacity as well. Make sure you don't animate it here, otherwise it will animate a new set of animations. We want to add this one to this animation. So yeah, add and opacity, just the once. So we've got it there. Okay, so we'll leave that 100 for now. You'll see there's three properties here that we can scroll through. There's the start, where the start of the animation is affected, so we want it at the very start at the beginning, so we'll leave that at 0. Same for the end, we want it at 100% at the end. The offset is what we'll be animating, and as we scroll through that, we scroll through the letters. So leave that on 0 for now. Click on the advanced and change the shape from square to ramp up. Now you'll notice, rather than being linear and going through each letter one by one, it's now ramped through them progressively, and you can see they gradually get blurrier or gradually come into focus. So if you go through the offset now, you'll see that it's fully blurred and then it's fully in focus. So put that offset to 100. We also want to change the randomize order. So at the moment it's animating through the text in the order of the letters as they are written. If we click randomize order down here to on, it now shifts it in a random order. So as we scroll through, it's now blurring and unblurring in a random order. You can also change the order by doing a different random seed. So we click 4, different one, or we click 6, different one again, or we click, I don't know, 123, it was a different one again. So we keep that on 0. And we'll add a keyframe on offset. So set the offset to -100, like that, and go about 4 seconds later, I think, and set that to 100. Now you'll see that each one gradually gets blurrier, but it doesn't fade out. What we originally had is them invisible and then they become visible. So if you go down to your opacity and turn that to 0, you will now see that they come in blurry and from invisible to visible and in focus. You just want to select your keyframes that you put in the offset, hit F9, that will ease them, so now it will gradually animate rather than at a constant speed. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got them animating in, but now we also want them animating out. So first, select the second keyframe. It's a bit later down the line, Control V. There we go. Select the first one, Control C, and put that one at the end. So these two are the same, and these two are the same. So now it's animating out. Now it animates out in the same order of letters as it animated in. Notice that? So to change that, if you go to that frame where the keyframe is, on the randomized seed, select that one at 0, add a keyframe, come 1, and then change that to 1. Come 1 frame before and change that back to 0, and now it will animate in a different order that it animated in. So you see that? B, Y and T, and that one is TT and R, TT and U. There we go. So it's a different order now. There we go. Great. So we've animated the text in and out, but there's no movement. It's still a little bit flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to animate the backgrounds to move, so it looks like we're zooming into this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to change the anchor point, because if I zoom in with the anchor point there, it's going to zoom in to the mountain. But what I actually want is to kind of give it the effect that we're zooming into this village. So I'm going to move this anchor point down into the center of the village, and above it I'm going to move the anchor point of the text to exactly the same position, because when we scale these, we want to scale them from the same point. See there now on the same point? There we go. Okay, so we'll do the background first. Open it up, go down to transform, to scale. Let's set this to 95. So we're going to zoom out a bit, hit scale, and then I'm going to scroll right to the end, and I'm going to put it to 105, and we're going to leave these linear. We're not going to F9 to ease them. Okay, so you can see that now is zooming in slowly. So we're going to do the same with the text, but with the text we're going to zoom in further because it's closer to the camera. We want it to feel as if it's closer to the camera, so it's going to move faster. So go to that keyframe, open up your text, close this bar now, open up the transform, scale, come to 95, in the scale, hit keyframe, you can go to the end, and we're going to scale that up to about 120. I'll put that one more over just so it's in line with the other one. There we go. Although we can't see it. There we go. Okay, so both of them are now moving from the same point, and it feels like it's coming towards us. Great stuff. Okay, so you've got both things moving towards us. The other effect I want to add is some particles effect. So you can find these on YouTube. If you type in particle effects, you'll be able to see this one. And if you bring it in over the top of all the footage, just close these layers up. Just gonna, oops, it's a bit far. Just gonna see where it starts. It starts there. Clip that up over there. Now, the problem we have here is it's blocking everything else. We can't see through it. So we want to get rid of the darks and just keep the white spots. So the way we do that, select the layer. If you hit F4 until you get this menu, you'll see mode, normal. We want to change that blend mode from normal to screen, and it's just going to keep all the light spots. Now these are too many. We can see that these are too many. It's going to be distracting. So what we'll do is we'll take down the opacity and the transform to about 15 to make them a little bit more subtle. So it kind of looks like it's snowing within our snowy scene. We'll need to do the same thing where we hit Y and drag that down to the road. Now the anchor point is set at the same point as the text and the video, so that we zooming in from the same point. Okay, come to the start again, hit scale, Might even scale that down to about 95 as well, and then at the end of the video we'll put that up to 110. There we go. Okay, so that's moving as well, so it kind of looks like we're zooming into these. Fantastic. The third thing we can do is we can add a vignette. I'll show you what I mean by vignette. So it's dark around the edges, very slightly dark around the edges, and the way we do this is if you come to Layer, New, Solid, we want a black solid like that. That's fine. Click OK. We're just going to clip this, Control Shift D, just so it's only above our footage, and with that layer selected, come up to this mask tool and ellipse, and then click and hold to draw an ellipse. And if you come to the selection tool and drag these points towards the corners like that, the edges of the screen rather. Now we've drawn a black circle. You can pull these out as well a little bit if you like to shape it up, make it a bit more curvy. Now we've drawn a black circle, we need to invert this. So under the layer in masks, you click change from add to subtract, and now it's the opposite. Open up the mask and feather this so the edges are gradual, and then expand them out using the expansion like this. I'll feather this a little bit more and expand a little bit further. There we go. So we got some dark edges, and you can just leave that how it is. And then the last and final thing is, at the minute there's no sound, it's just a little bit dead. So what we'll do is we will come to the start, and I've just downloaded a wind effect, sound effect. I'm going to put that underneath. I only want the sound, so I'm just going to get rid of the eye because I'm only interested in the sound. Just drag it a couple of frames because I don't know where the effect actually starts, so I'm just going to guess and say it's there. Now if I click play, it's actually around here that the wind effect starts, so that's fine. Start that again. Yeah, so just render through this now, and there we have it. You have your blurry text animating in and then animating out with our snowy scene. Now you can do that 1,000 different ways. You might be animating a hot scene, you know, a warm scene, so that wouldn't affect, maybe not apply to you, but there's a lot of different things you can do with the rotation and the scale to give that, you know, that effect of movement, and using blur to create that depth of field. Thanks for watching. That is the first of many text animation videos, tutorials that I'll be releasing with After Effects, as there are a lot that I use, but this is one of the better ones, and I hope those are the little bits that I've added in there have helped to make your videos look a little bit more cinematic. If you've enjoyed the video and it's been helpful, you can give this video a like and subscribe, and you won't miss all the future videos that I release. There will be some more coming soon. So until then, thanks for watching. See you later, guys.